Imagine you are one of the hundreds of people in New York, in Manhattan, who got your jury duty notice and are asked to assemble Monday morning at 10 a.m. in a courtroom where the jury in the case of the People versus Trump will be tried. After you take your seat in the jury pool, Judge Juan Merchan will describe the case summary in exactly these words. The defendant, Donald Trump, is charged with 34 counts of falsifying business records in the first degree. The allegations are in substance that Donald Trump falsified business records to conceal an agreement with others to unlawfully influence the 2016 presidential election. Specifically, it is alleged that Donald Trump made or caused false business records to hide the true nature of payments made to Michael Cohen by characterizing them as payment for legal services rendered pursuant to a retainer agreement. The People allege that, in fact, the payments were intended to reimburse Michael Cohen for money he paid to Stephanie Clifford, also known as Stormy Daniels, in the weeks before the presidential election to prevent her from publicly revealing details about a past sexual encounter with Donald Trump. And while you are sitting there in the jury pool, listening to the judge describe this case to you, Donald Trump is sitting at the defense table looking like this. Let's take that back down to a half screen of Donald Trump. Now, we normally don't allow Donald Trump to occupy your full television screen during this program. But for this one time, as you consider yourself sitting there on Monday in the position of a juror looking at him, let's look at what they will actually see without hearing a word from Donald Trump. And for that, we're going to go back to the full screen so you can take in what this man actually looks like now. Donald Trump is likely to be sitting there as he is in this recent campaign videos. That's a picture of him when he's trying to look his absolute best in his campaign video, which in his mind includes a face partially covered in some form of homemade bronzer in which he always forgets the ears. He always forgets his ears are visible, showing the real color of Donald Trump in contrast to the mud brown that he has decided makes him look his best, and to some eyes actually makes him look like a horror movie character. That is not a face you want to present to a criminal jury whose job it is to concentrate on the evidence in the case. Those jurors will be listening to Judge Merchan's questions while having trouble fighting the urge to steal another peek at that profoundly strange-looking man sitting at the defense table, whose voice they will probably never hear in court. Because it is impossible, as Donald Trump and his lawyers know, for Donald Trump to testify under oath without committing perjury, perjury that he will not get away with. And Donald Trump will not be able to testify under oath and get away with trying to lie about what actually happened when he was alone in his hotel room with Stormy Daniels, who will testify under oath about what happened in that room. Donald Trump will not be able to get on the witness stand and successfully lie about his communications and conversations with Michael Cohen about paying off Stormy Daniels so that his presidential campaign could survive. And Michael Cohen will testify about that. And so with Donald Trump unable to testify in his own defense, the only thing he brings to his defense is that silent, discolored face. A face that lies to you without Donald Trump saying a word. A face that claims to be a color of brown that is betrayed by his 77-year-old pink ears. a face that is topped by hair, that is lying to you about exactly where Donald Trump's hairline might actually be. Every day that the jurors spend in that courtroom with defendant Trump, they will be wondering how he can be so deeply oblivious to the truth of what he looks like, with that stuff that he slaps on his face. Some of them will be thinking correctly he can afford the best professional makeup, but this is what he chooses. They will be wondering about what other truths about himself is Donald Trump unable to admit. They will be wondering why he literally cannot look at himself in a mirror. That silent face will be the only way that Donald Trump, in effect, testifies to his first criminal jury. And what those jurors will see on that face every day in that courtroom is a lie. No matter how many days those jurors spend in that room with Donald Trump, they will never come to understand why he chooses to look like that. But they will easily be able to figure out why he paid Stormy Daniels. The evidence will show that he paid Stormy Daniels in order to be elected president. Many of the people in that jury pool will no doubt be afraid of Donald Trump because they have seen what his followers are willing to do for him on January 6th. In court, the jury selection process is referred to as a voir dire, French, meaning to see, to say. The court sees the potential jurors and hears what they say. When the potential jurors are asked simple questions like, what do you do for a living? And who is your current employer? Or do you have any children? They could easily be reluctant to let Donald Trump hear the answers to those questions. The prospective jurors will all be asked what cable news networks they watch, what newspapers they read, if any, and what social media they use, if any. The New York Times has theorized that the prosecution will look favorably upon jurors who watch MSNBC or Stephen Colbert. And the defense will probably look favorably on potential jurors who watch the so-called Fox News channel. All of the jurors will be asked, question 29, have you, a relative or a close friend, ever worked for any company or organization that is owned or run by Donald Trump or anyone in his family? Question 29A, have you, a relative or a close friend, ever worked or volunteered for a Trump presidential campaign, the Trump presidential administration, or any other political entity affiliated with Mr. Trump? Have you ever attended a rally or a campaign event for Donald Trump? Question 29B, have you ever attended a rally or campaign? Oh, that's redundant there. 29C, are you signed up for, or have you ever been signed up for, subscribed to, or followed any newsletter or email listserv run by or on behalf of Mr. Trump or the Trump Organization? Question 29D, do you currently follow Donald Trump on any social media site, or have you done so in the past? Question 29E, have you, a relative or a close friend, ever worked or volunteered for any anti-Trump group or organization? Question 29F, have you ever attended a rally or campaign event for any anti-Trump group or organization? Question 29G, are you signed up for, or have you ever been signed up for, subscribed to, or followed any newsletter or email listserv run by or on behalf of any anti-Trump group or organization? Question 29H, do you currently follow any anti-Trump group or organization on any social media site, or have you done so in the past? Question 30, have you ever considered yourself a supporter of or belonged to any of the following: the QAnon movement, Proud Boys, Oath Keepers, 3%ers, Boogaloo Boys, Antifa? And question 31, do you have any strong opinions or firmly held beliefs about whether a former president may be criminally charged in state court? And the final question each prospective juror will be asked to answer honestly is there any reason, whether it be a bias or something else, that would prevent you from being fair and impartial if you are selected as a juror in this case.
Hey everyone, MSNBC has a new and improved app. You'll get real-time alerts and analysis, live blogs, in-depth essays, video highlights, and the best 2024 election coverage. Download the new MSNBC app. Here's how to do it. You tap on the App Store on your phone. You hit search on the bottom right corner. You type in MSNBC. You click on the MSNBC app. You click on Get or the cloud icon and enjoy it.